Are you thinking of implementing an integrated management system in your organization? Then stay with us for some practical tips on how to do it. My name is Tracy Ryan. So, in today's video, we're going to give you some practical tips on how to do this in the best possible way in your business. You like to be up to date with the world of certifications and audits. Click on the little bell, activate the notifications, and you'll know whenever a new video of that will be there, so we can start talking about practical implementation tips. Let's just make it clear what the IMS is, how the IMS works, and the structure of it, so that you can understand the next steps here in implementation. An integrated management system according to ISO standards. It will ensure that various themes that are relevant to your business, can act in an integrated way in a management system that will look at the context, the risks, the objectives, and the results of these themes. So, an integrated management system will have more than one standard, an ISO management system, for example ISO 9001, but some other standards supporting this system. So there isn't an ISO 9001 standard together with an ISO 14001 that talks about environmental management systems, or sometimes for your business, it's relevant to talk about occupational health and safety, which we're going to bring in. But the requirements of ISO 45001. Often, for your business, it's relevant to talk about information security. ISO 27001 has requirements that can be integrated with ISO 9001, for example, so that your organization has a quality and safety management system, or even a management system integrated with the requirements of Standard 37001, before bribery with security, with data privacy, with the environment and quality. Everything is possible within this universe because the standards are set up in such a way that they have a structure and a backbone that is integrated. So it's much simpler today, in the way that ISO has structured a hierarchy of requirements, for you to be able to add new themes to this management system. So let's start with practical tips on how to start planning a management system. Of course, to get started, you first need to define which topics are most relevant to your business, and this is a strategic decision. So, as a first tip, it's clear that the universe of scope, what will be certified and what will be included in your management system, needs to come from your company's top management. It's a strategic decision. So, the issues that are going to permeate the business, they need to be defined by senior management. So, whether it's the environment or health, occupational safety or compliance or quality, or all of that together, this needs to be in some way a strategic decision for the organization. So the participation of the leadership is essential and fundamental to guarantee that this system will be well planned and at the same time based on a strategic decision by senior management. All the leaders of this organization need to be involved in the implementation and planning of this management system because you're going to need to map out all these processes. You're going to need to train people. You're going to need to understand the operation of each of the departments, the processes involved. So if you don't have people on your side, understanding the need and understanding the relevance of this management system and why you're doing it, why did your organization decide to take this step? If you don't have people behind you, supporting you, it's very unlikely that your management system will have the best results. So it's very important, relevant that in addition to senior management, it's important that all the company's responsibilities and authorities and leaders are involved and engaged, understanding the criticality and relevance of this to the business. In order for this to spread, all employees must also adopt the management system as part of their routine, day-to-day practices. Once you've decided on the themes, what will be the scope of your management system? It can vary somewhat according to the theme and often the scope of a ISO 37001 certification. It will be more around the bribery management system. It can be integrated with the quality management system and complement it, but it doesn't have to be exactly the same. Your management system. It will need to permeate all the scopes of all the standards you're bringing in, So, once you've defined the scope, who are the people responsible, defined what the standards are. We need to plan the cycle, comply with this management system. So there's nothing better than starting at the foot of the PDC, the proper strategic definition of a context, and the stakeholders who are going to be part of that scope. It's very important that you know who you're doing it for, who you're setting up this management system for, what your objectives are with this management system, which is already moving forward a little, what the potential risks to your business are in relation to these issues. So, if you're choosing there, come on, let's take the classic triad of quality, environment, health, and safety. You're going to have to assess quality risks, environmental risks, health and safety risks, opportunities that this organization has in environmental terms and opportunities that you have in the quality area, processes you can improve, what opportunities you have internally and externally. So, it's very important that when it comes to raising risks and opportunities, establishing policies, establishing objectives, you do this with all the themes, because all the relevant standards will have specific requirements. So, these requirements that I just mentioned, in the context of the organization, definition of stakeholders, definition of scope, leadership involvement, leadership commitment, assessing risks and opportunities. Define policies and objectives. This is common to all standards. ISO management system. In planning, you will have to go through this and look at each of the themes. So, if it's energy management, you'll need to bring that in. If your organization already has a management system in place, it's much easier. If you already have a tool, for example, to deal with risks in the quality area. When you look at the environment, you already have the processes mapped out. You already have that spreadsheet of processes mapped out. Maybe you use the turtle diagram to map the quality process or to map an operational process. You already have your risks and opportunities for that process there. You will adapt and integrate new risks, new opportunities, new related requirements. That operational process, for example, regulatory requirements, legal requirements, requirements even from your own management system. You're going to add competencies related to the people who, and what are the competencies, the awareness they need to have, and what training do the operational staff need in relation to your quality management system. They will have to know the quality policy, the environmental policy of your company. They will have to know the risks related to the activity they do in the environmental sphere of your company. So you're going to build on top of a tool management system that you already used previously. So you already have a basic management system. It's much easier to add new ones. If you don't have one, it's also much easier to understand that you can already establish a new management system, integrating similar themes because they will have similar requirements, especially in this area of planning. When we think about the integrated management system, we are talking about different themes, different subjects. So we could be talking about information security, IT services, and data privacy. For example, an integrated management system with 3 themes, 3 external ones. Or we could be talking about quality, the environment, health, and safety. We may be talking about quality and anti-bribery, but it's clear here that there are different skills and knowledge. There are different expertises for each of these themes. So the integrated management system, it's multidisciplinary. It's really integrated with different processes within the organization. Depending on the subject, you may need to involve one department and another for other issues. You don't need to involve the department in the same way, so it's important to have people involved and leading various departments, various areas of the company, and with knowledge of the subject, so that you have a team in shape, a team formation that can really support you in establishing the processes you need, the procedures, mapping the processes, seeing the interaction between these processes, having a look at risk there and how you're going to need to treat the risk of each of these processes. Because that's what will make your management system deliver the best results. In fact, with regard to results, the integrated management system is one of the enormous benefits that a strategic vision of the organization can have. When you put several themes together, you get integrated results, i.e., objectives that can be as much about quality as they are about the environment, health, and safety in a single dashboard, or in a result presented in an integrated way. This gives the organization a very interesting strategic vision, as well as operational efficiency. And you'll already be able to aggregate various themes into the same training or action in your management system. You also have a reduction in costs, so you have more efficiency, more flexibility, because you have more trained people with a broader view of various topics, and you have more competent people. It's interesting that you're able to bring together various subjects. You're expanding the vision, bringing more visibility, more strategy to this organization, especially when it comes to presenting results. So, as part of an integrated management system when it comes to, in addition to the operation in requirement 8 each theme will have its own specific requirements, its own peculiarities. However, when it comes to monitoring this is very similar. All standards maintain a similar requirement within the CCL annex of the ISO high-level structure, which obliges these organizations to look at their results and monitor their results. So, as well as setting objectives, you'll also have to look at them from time to time and know if you're on the right track. That's the CEO of PDC. Within the results. Still part of this evaluation of results is precisely the top management of the company when carrying out the critical analysis, participating in this critical analysis, having a very comprehensive, very broad view of the business and the results of this business, and from there, also determining improvement actions that can be integrated into various themes. So you have a comprehensive view on the table, people who are competent in many areas within the organization. And now thinking about how to make both the quality part and the safety part, as well as compliance, much better in your company in the next certification cycle. So you see, it's very interesting to be able to open up the range, and many of these themes are common to most organizations today, so you can have well-trained people, operational efficiency, and a strategic vision of the business from the implementation of an integrated management system. One question we always get here at QMS when is the client in the process of implementation? And how does the audit work? And how long does it take? What is the certification like? Well, the audit part is where MS will participate in the business. It will take place at the last stage of this process. So, once you've planned your management system, brought in the competent team, implemented all the requirements of all the standards, assessed and carried out an internal audit, you've done the critical analysis, then QMS will visit your organization to do a third-party audit, an external audit with the aim of certification. So once you're ready, you call MS, you hire MS. We'll also plan our audit, assess all the competence of our auditors. We'll often bring in an auditor, often a team of auditors with complementary skills to be able to service your business. And from that, we're going to do an integrated audit of our integrated management system. Our audit will also be. This means that we will evaluate, with our audit team, all your procedures, your processes involved in the scope of your integrated management system. It can take a few days, and it can also take more than one auditor. As I said, your management system is certified to several standards. So an integrated management system, for example, ISO 9001, ISO 14001, and ISO 45001, you'll receive 3 certificates in your organization, 1 certificate for each of the standards you've been recommended for certification. These certificates will be valid for 3 years, as long as you maintain your annual cycle of audits to ensure that the management system is working and continues to operate. So, how? What happens if you have a nonconformity in the integrated management system? So, it's a fairly common question we get. If you have a nonconformity that is specific to a requirement of one of these standards, not assuming the requirement of an environmental standard, you can have a major nonconformity that will suspend your ISO 14001 certification only, for example, and have no impact on the others. Depending on the nature of the nonconformity, especially if it is a major nonconformity, it can have an impact on all the certifications in your management system. So it's the audit team that will be able to assess the scope of the impact of this nonconformity to determine whether it's part of the scope of quality, the environment, or health and safety. And then, from there, you'll need to make the arrangements involving the team and the people on top of the appropriate management system. So here, QMS, as a certification body, will treat your integrated management system in the integrated way it deserves. With this vision and integrated approach, and always taking care to ensure a competent team of auditors who will know how to add value to your business. Do you have any questions about how to implement and how the ISO 9001, ISO 14001, and ISO 45001 certification process works? For example, integrated management system. Contact us, leave a comment, ask a question, and we'll be happy to continue the conversation here.